I think there's a time and a place for certain things as well, and that's...
And fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight.
I just don't see a way logically where you can pick Jake Paul surviving this fight, genuinely.
Anthony Joshua destroyed Jake Paul for canceling the fight. AJ isn't playing games. He's calling out Jake Paul's cowardice straight to the public. No excuses, no dodging, just raw accountability. If Jake thought he could run, he's sorely mistaken. AJ's message is crystal clear. Step up or get exposed.
I'm gonna fight this guy. If I'm fighting that guy, I'm gonna fight that guy. There's none of this dodge him or dodge that. That's none of my business.
AJ goes in hard on Jake Paul, calling out not just his hype, but his attitude. Toxic, overconfident, and out of his depth, Joshua paints a picture of a fighter who's all talk and no spine. For AJ, this isn't a debate, it's a warning. Jake Paul needs a reality check, and he'll get it inside the ring.
I feel like he's toxic. I feel like you can put any top heavyweight in the world up here, and he'll probably say the same thing about them all. So it's just him as a person, and then he just needs a beat down.
Eddie Hearn slams Jake Paul like a freight train. Stubborn, clueless, and completely out of his depth, Paul clearly doesn't grasp what stepping into AJ's world really means. This isn't YouTube, this is professional boxing, and AJ's camp won't tolerate games. Jake Paul is being exposed as a novice playing in the big leagues.
And he's stubborn and you know, he doesn't understand what the business means to us. So, you know, again, this is not something that we do often, but we're not fucking around.
Jake Paul's arrogance just hit a brick wall with Hearn's blunt reality check. Frank Warren doesn't sugarcoat it. Jake Paul is a spectacle, a walking disaster waiting to happen. Fans tune in for the chaos, not the skill, because Paul's in over his head. AJ isn't just ready, he's poised to turn this circus into a lesson. One wrong move and Paul's hype crumbles completely.
You do it or not, this is a car crash. And people will watch it, because that's what people do at car crashes. That's what this is.
Charlemagne hints at the drama behind the scenes, and it's messy for Jake Paul. AJ isn't here for rumors, he's here for accountability. If Paul's team is scrambling for excuses or looking for ways out, it just shows how unprepared and fragile this YouTube fighter truly is. AJ's calm dominance will expose it all.
If the rumors are true, you know what I mean? If the rumors are true, because that's what I was told, and you know I heard they were just looking for a reason to part ways. So
Johnny Nelson throws shade at Paul's antics, implying there's more than meets the eye. AJ's opponent isn't just dodging fights, he's crafting excuses behind closed doors. This lack of transparency screams amateur hour. AJ thrives on real challenges, and Jake Paul's schemes won't survive under the pressure of a true professional.
We don't know, but I really rather him for him to think of and plan doing something like that.
Duke McKenzie separates the hype from reality. Jake Paul may sell clicks, but he's playing show business, not boxing. AJ operates in a different league where reputation, skill, and discipline matter. Paul's stunts may entertain, but in AJ's world, they don't hold water. The gap between hype and skill has never been clearer.
I don't see there's any harm in it. It doesn't bring the sport into disrepute in any way. This is the show business world that we live in. There's the fight game and then there's the fight business. And from a business perspective, that's probably just sold another 1 million tickets.
YB Patreon calls out the nonsense perfectly. Jake Paul's cancellations are a joke. Injuries, excuses, delays. It's amateur behavior. AJ doesn't operate like this. He faces his challenges head on. The message is simple. If you commit to a fight, you fight. Paul's pattern of backing out only highlights his lack of legitimacy.
I don't like that. People schedule fights and then they pull out. Oh, I was injured. Well, if he was injured, you won't be injured in
Benavidez Sr. gives a rare nod of caution for Jake Paul, but let's be honest, this danger is more theoretical than real. AJ doesn't just fight, he annihilates. Paul may have fans and hype, but stepping into the ring with Joshua is a whole different league. The odds are stacked, and any talk of an upset underestimates the magnitude of AJ's skill and power. Paul's theatrics won't survive the precision, timing, and experience AJ brings. This isn't social media boxing, it's a masterclass in punishment waiting to happen, and Paul is dangerously close to being exposed for the amateur he really is.
You know, don't count him out. You know, I think that's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, you know, we could have a big upset, you know, but
Carl Frosch doesn't hold back, and neither should we. Jake Paul isn't even close to the level of competition AJ has faced his entire career, even past past his best. AJ's technique, power, and timing make this a brutal mismatch. Paul's losses and lack of fundamentals are glaring. The 1-2 combinations Froch mentions aren't just punches, they're an educational beatdown waiting to happen. AJ's distance control and precision will systematically dismantle Paul, exposing him as the hype-driven YouTube fighter he truly is. There's no way around it. Paul can't mask his weaknesses, and AJ's ring IQ will exploit every single one.
What should happen? This is a one-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud.
Dave Allen cuts to the core of the problem. Jake Paul is physically outclassed. Size, reach, and raw strength are on AJ's side in a monumental way. Paul may have hype, but hype doesn't win fights against a seasoned world-class heavyweight. Even the bravado of a YouTube star crumbles in the shadow of AJ's experience and power. Allen highlights that Paul isn't just undersized. He's completely unprepared for the kind of punishment AJ can deliver. This fight isn't about skill gaps, it's about a physical mismatch that borders on dangerous for Paul. AJ doesn't need excuses, the ring will tell the story.
I'm not sure really, Jake Paul's a cruiserweight, isn't he? Not even that. He won't be anywhere near his biggest partner of mine.
Carl Frampton lays it out brutally clear. AJ doesn't just fight, he annihilates. And Jake Paul, he's walking into a storm he isn't prepared for. Frampton isn't speculating, he's speaking from decades of ring experience. One round, that's all it takes for Joshua to turn hype and bravado into humiliation. Paul's social media antics, his clever marketing, and his YouTube-fueled confidence will mean nothing once he feels AJ's power. This isn't a fight about skill versus skill, it's about the real world exposing pretenders. Frampton's comment underscores a harsh truth. If Paul thought he could step in and survive, he's in for a rude awakening. Even the "what if he doesn't finish him in a round" line oozes inevitability. Paul is outmatched physically, mentally, and strategically. AJ's precision, power, and experience guarantee that any round could be the one where Paul's entire persona is shredded in front of the world. The hype collapses the second he touches the canvas.
Why do you think it doesn't harm AJ?
I don't think it does harm.
Why?
Because I just think he goes and if it's a real fight, he'd go and blow him away in a round. That's the end.
What if he doesn't do him in a round? Is that?
Tom Little delivers a cutting assessment without even fully saying it. There's an unspoken reality. Jake Paul is teetering on the edge between hype and humiliation. AJ is the measuring stick, the ultimate test, and Paul's vulnerabilities are glaring. Little hints at the uncomfortable truth. This isn't about luck or promotion. This is about survival under the relentless scrutiny of a world-class heavyweight. If Paul thought his previous wins gave him legitimacy, this fight will shatter that illusion. The weight, experience, and discipline AJ brings will expose every flaw, every hole in Paul's game. Quitting isn't a matter of cowardice, it's almost inevitable once he faces the relentless pressure Joshua imposes. Little's commentary isn't just a warning, it's a forecast of public unmasking. Paul's bravado will crumble under AJ's unyielding ring IQ and power, leaving him with the bitter taste of reality. This isn't a fight for hype, it's a reckoning.
If he's a real, I'm not saying he can't fight, I'm not saying he's rubbish, I'm not saying he's useless, but we will see how good he is. And if I'm right in what I'm saying, he'll quit.
Derek Chisora lays down the gauntlet and it's unambiguous. AJ has no time for theatrics or missteps. Jake Paul is expected to last more than 3 rounds? Impossible. Chisora references the swift dominance AJ displayed against Ganu, a reminder that Joshua doesn't need time to dismantle his opponent. Paul isn't just facing a heavyweight, he's staring down a finishing machine. Every second in the ring magnifies Paul's lack of preparation, inexperience, and physical limitations. Chisora isn't just predicting a victory, he's mapping out a demolition. This isn't speculation, it's logic grounded in AJ's historical efficiency and brutal ring intelligence. Paul's hype, his YouTube fame, and media chatter evaporate under AJ's tactical precision. To survive even a single round is a challenge. To last 3 is fantasy. Chisora's insistence that AJ must end it early is a warning. This fight is one-sided, and Paul's only hope is avoiding reality, which we know is impossible.
No, I don't back Jack Paul. That means, what is that you're doing? He has to smoke him in 3 rounds. The same way he did in Ngannou. How many rounds was in Ngannou?
second round.
Exactly. So he has to smoke it.
Sam Jones cuts through the humor and delivers a chilling reality check. Jake Paul might be the subject of jokes online, but the threat AJ poses is no laughing matter. Comparing Paul to Ngannou, a true knockout artist, underscores the danger he's stepping into. AJ's right hand isn't just powerful, it's a weapon honed over years against elite competition. Paul may have hype, followers, and viral clips, but none of it translates into survival against a seasoned heavyweight. The brown bred him line isn't exaggeration, it's a vivid warning that the physical gap is terrifying. AJ doesn't need to overcomplicate things. One well-placed punch can end Paul's bravado instantly. Every meme, every social media stunt evaporates under the force of reality. Jones's words expose Paul's vulnerability and highlight the true stakes. This isn't entertainment, it's a reckoning. AJ has the power, the experience, and the technique to not just win, but to make an example.
Listen, we can all joke, but nobody wants any permanent damage to happen to Jake Paul. But if Anthony Joshua hits Jake Paul with the right hand he hit Francis Ngannou with, he could brown bread him.
Anthony Joshua has spoken, the experts have spoken, and the evidence is clear. Jake Paul is out of his depth. Every analyst, every former fighter, every insider has highlighted the same brutal truth. This isn't a fair fight, it's a masterclass waiting to happen. Paul's excuses, cancellations, and hype can't mask his lack of preparation, size, and skill. AJ doesn't just fight, he annihilates, he exposes, and he humbles anyone who dares step into his world. The fight may never happen, but the warning has been delivered loud and clear. Jake Paul's reputation is on the line, and the world is watching every move. If you want to see more deep dives into boxing's biggest stories, expert breakdowns, and raw, unfiltered commentary like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Don't miss out on the action, because in boxing, the truth always lands harder than any punch.